Are we ready? Not yet? Okay, but we're right. We can pause it. All right. Um, Countrymen and women, good morning. We are here to address a very important subject which has been making rounds in the media and which has been brought about because of some communication which was given by our press. I want to announce that the Tonse Alliance, via its constitution, does have the power to appoint ad hoc committees. In this case, an ad hoc committee was appointed to look into some disciplinary measures which were meant to be taken following certain revelations in social media. Let me just emphasize that the powers of these ad hoc committees is vested in Article 23(1) of the Tonse Constitution, and the chairman of the press in Tonse is mandated under Article 16(1) to appoint an ad hoc committee to deal with any pending issues that may be running or due to be dealt with. In this case, the chairman is President Tembo. And President Tembo acted within the powers by, one, consulting the Tonse chairperson and then formally appointing members of this ad hoc committee. This morning, the ad hoc committee met. The powers of the ad hoc committee is, one, investigatory. It is supposed to investigate and look into allegations that are tabled before it. The other aspect is the ad hoc committee is reconciliatory. It is supposed to look at what is meant for the general good of Tonse, but it is also meant to bring about unity and also emphasize the discipline within Tonse as an institution. I am glad to report that when I was appointed chairperson of this ad hoc committee, I took time to engage the chairperson of the committee, His Excellency, President Edgar Chagwa, and we had deliberations yesterday. Upon being guided by the chairperson, my colleagues and I met this morning and we have discussed and deliberated the issues that were pending. The report or the conclusion of our meeting is that in the interest of unity and in the interest of establishing a solid foundation for Tonse, all matters that were pending before this ad hoc committee will be dealt with internally, and any recommendations will be made to the Council of Leaders for consideration. Therefore, this committee has already discussed and looked into the issues and made that resolution. Going forward, Tonse will remain united. Tonse will remain a strong force. And for ourselves, we are very confident that we are going to have to defeat the UPND come rain, come sunshine. We are aware that some of our leaders in this country, especially the UPND and maybe those doomsayers, were hoping that this little glitch was going to bring confusion within Tonse and that Tonse was going to start disintegrating. I have news for you. Tonse is meant to stay, and we are going to come out of this little glitch stronger and more united than ever before. In any organization, there will always be differences. In any organization, there will always be people having different opinions and different views. But what is important is that you discuss, engage, and resolve. And that is what we have done. We want to thank His Excellency the President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, for the guidance given. And indeed, I want to thank my colleagues in the ad hoc committee for their magnanimity and indeed their consideration of the views objectively, and hence our resolution that whatever is intended will be resolved and concluded internally so that we remain united and nobody should take advantage of what is going on in Tonse. We are still Tonse. Duli Tonse. I thank you.
Thank you, President Fude. As you might have noted, countrymen and women, that this small misunderstanding within the ranks of the Tonse Alliance was to a very large extent being exploited by our detractors. Our detractors, who are in the ruling party, were celebrating that we are actually in a state of confusion. However, I must add on what President Fude has said, that there is no confusion in the Tonse Alliance whatsoever. You might see a number of headlines, you might see some innuendo flying around. You must treat all that as falsehoods. You must treat all that as falsehoods. The Tonse Alliance is intact. The Tonse Alliance is guided by its constitution. Any action which the Tonse Alliance undertakes, whether that action is through the spokesperson or indeed a committee such as this one, that action is done with the consultation of the chairman of the Tonse Alliance, who is no other than His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And like my colleague mentioned here, we have been in constant touch with His Excellency, and his emphasis has always been that we remain united and that we avoid any actions, even as we undertake our mandate, we avoid any actions that can divide us, we avoid any actions that our detractors can exploit and dig deeper holes within the ranks of the alliance. In addition to that, countrymen and women, you might have seen a number of headlines that were flying around. I want to confirm to you that those headlines are false. The status quo of the Tonse Alliance remains as it has always been. Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu is the chairman. The Professor Dan Pule is the vice chairman of the Tonse Alliance. Nothing has changed, and the status will remain as such until such a time that the Council of Leaders deliberates otherwise. Lastly, I want to take this opportunity, given the environment in which we are, where a number of our detractors are trying to take advantage and plant a lot of falsehoods within the media, both traditional media as well as online media. I want to emphasize that any communication in terms of any decisions which the chairman makes is done either through official communication to the alliance or through his Facebook page. And any information that you might see flying around which is not on the chairman's Facebook page and which has not been communicated officially to the members, senior members of the Tonse Alliance, you must treat any such information as coming from our detractors and information that is meant to split us and to take advantage of any internal processes that the alliance might be undertaking at any given time. With that given, I must emphasize that as the Tonse Alliance, we shall remain not only united, but we shall also remain disciplined. Because without discipline, it is very difficult for any organization to achieve its objectives. Thank you.
That was good.